Say our name and we appear. It's been almost 24 hours since the Royal Rumble has ended. The three-man booth for the Denmark podcast is here. Chris, Jason, and Donald to talk about the Royal Rumble hangover. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Here, tired.
Well, very well.
Had enough time to kind of digest everything. You ready to discuss what happened in the 2025 Royal Rumble?
Oh, yes. Digested so much, I watched the whole pay-per-view over again this morning.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably WrestleMania is like the one thing that I've gone back and rewatched a few times. But
yeah, I had to see what my eyes were really seeing last night. If it wasn't a triangle, playing with my eyes.
What your eyes missed. I looked over a couple times.
I did.
Yeah.
I was. I'm never going to deny that. If it seems a little bit boring, yeah, I'm going to take a break.
Get it in where you can get it in.
Yeah, very true. It happens. So, before we dive in too much, thoughts overall on the event?
Overall, I enjoyed it. Good Rumble for me.
I did enjoy it.
It's the four-man.
Yes, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the pay-per-view. Yeah, even
you're,
though
you're a day late for the surprise run-in.
Even though I said earlier in yesterday that I wasn't like too big into it, like leading up to it, I did enjoy it.
Yeah. There was, and we'll get into it as we go, but there was really only one match that I wasn't as invested in for the whole night.
Yes.
Other than that, yeah. I mean, the Rumble, whether you like the outcome or you don't like the outcome, the Rumble's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
So like that hour, whatever it is, it's just an easy, enjoyable watch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think they did a great job of telling two different stories for each Rumble. And what I mean by that is the women's Rumble was kind of all over the place, right? Not, wasn't a whole lot of storyline in the women's Rumble. It was just people coming in, entrances building up, participants building up, and then it crescendoed with a flurry of stuff that happened at the end, right? No huge fallout per se, right? As far as road to WrestleMania outside of Charlotte Flair, maybe potentially Liv and Alexa, but the men's Rumble, on the other hand, you had story throughout that entire Rumble, from Penta and Ray kicking off until Jay eliminated Cena. There was story the entire time. So I thought that they, whoever put both Rumbles together did a great job. I know TJ Wilson gets a lot of credit there, but I thought it helped because they, neither one was like the other in that regard. Mm-hmm. So you both got holy shit moments. Jordan Grace, Death Valley Driver, and Piper Niven was just insane. Maybe arguably the biggest feat of strength since Hogan slammed Andre at WrestleMania 3. And
I don't know about all that.
I can debate it. I can debate it with you. That moment right there did more for her than any other superstar in that Women's Royal Rumble.
I mean, it was a great moment. Yeah, I'm all here for Jordan. Looking forward to seeing what brand she chooses and where they put her.
So yeah, I thought like I said, I thought it was a great job, well done with both Rumbles, one being completely different from the other. We'll save the Mount Rushmores and Mushes for next Saturday's show. This is all about Hangover and Fallout and the official road to WrestleMania starting, because there's a lot of that men's Rumble had a lot of seeds planted for a lot of different things, boy.
Let's just go down the card. Let's start with the women's Rumble. So, Steve, you already started talking about Jordan in there, but
yeah,
what everybody.
Jordan Look, Chelsea Green. We talk about characters and individuals in pro wrestling, and we talk about timeless Tony Storm in AEW. We talk about another person such as like Holly Cameron maximizing her minutes in AEW, whether she's given 30 seconds or she's given a 7-minute match, going out there and delivering and being entertaining. To me, Chelsea Green was the superstar of that Rumble. She stood out the entire time she was in there. From the moment she got in till she got eliminated. Everything, anytime she was involved, all eyes were on Chelsea.
Trying to get Piper to rush down to the ring.
Yeah.
For the 5-minute walk you have to take to get there.
And the fact that she tried to get herself invited to the cookout, but then got jumped for bringing the potato salad with raisins was a chef's kiss to kick off February. And, Black History Month was ruining Black Girl Magic there.
It's weird because SmackDown, you're booing her doing her championship match with Mi Chin. Rumble.
24 hours later, it's
Don't switch. Don't nobody touch her. Don't nobody throw over the rope. No nothing.
Yeah, don't. And the amount of boos that came out when she got eliminated was crazy.
She's got a fan base, and Rumble, much like WrestleMania, you get a little bit of everything in the fans. So,
well,
they're all behind her.
But we talked about like the gimmicks on the show yesterday. Donald, you brought up as far as like, is Royal Rumble the greatest gimmick? That right there is exhibit, 1A as far as why the Rumble was so great, because you have your fan favorite in the Rumble, and until they're eliminated, you are rooting for that person to win the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless if it's heel or babyface, good or bad, like you're rooting for that person until they get tossed out, which makes it, like you said, Chris, which makes the watch enjoyable for everybody. You have your fan favorite, you want them to win. You either end up, much like a big game NFL championship that's coming up next Sunday, you either end up with the confetti being happy, or you're like 31 other NFL teams. You're at home, miserable, heartbroken because
at Cancun.
You didn't win. So, it's all in one. It's the Super Bowl rolled into one.
Another person who I like to get my hats off to is Roxanne. Man, workhorse, boy.
Absolutely for that Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
what was her time? Anybody know offhand?
It was the longest ever.
Yeah, but I was just wondering what the time.
67.
Was it 67
minutes? I'm not sure on the seconds. I think I heard
Cole,
I think I heard Cole say, or it may have been Testator in the post show say 67 minutes for Roxanne.
67:47 was her time.
Yeah. So if she's going that long, the company must see her in like high praise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially to go to the end. End.
It says it right on her gear. Prodigy.
Yeah. I thought she had a great showing. I think one of the knocks, so to speak, and we touched on this yesterday, but one of the knocks is you have no pops when these people come out unless it's an older theme individual. Like that women
guarantee the pop.
That women's Royal Rumble, Nikki Bella got a pop. Why? Because everybody recognized Nikki Bella's music. No, Nikki got a pop. Go back and look at all the clips on social media. She got a pop.
She did.
When I
rewatched it, she did.
That's hate. That's extra hate down there.
It was mid.
Oh, by the way, I called that. Yes, pop. Check box.
Good for you calling Nikki Bella.
I also called Alexa Bliss, who got another pop. Why? Because
that pop was nice.
That was the pop of the night.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Trish, another recognizable theme, got a pop. Outside of those three, it's hard to know who's coming out whenever their music hits.
Jordan wasn't bad. I felt like people knew that was Jordan when hers hit.
But I mean, yeah, it was like that was the most evident thing of all. Even on the men's side, like Finn Balor, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah,
that was the biggest one.
All three of us looked at each other, was like, "Who's this?" Coming?
Yeah,
and then Finn just walked out. Was like, "Oh, okay."
Was that new last night, or he had that music for it? Because I know they had changed Judgment Day's theme music.
They changed Judgment Day, but that was Finn's individual entrance, and we haven't heard that, I don't think. Unless they played it when him and JD lost the tag titles to the War Raiders. I don't remember hearing that theme before last night.
Yeah.
We were talking about, because on the kickoff show for the Rumble on Friday, somebody in the audience had a sign that said, "Bring back Sheamus's old music." And Cody kind of addressed that during the kickoff. They need to do something with the music, period. Like Sheamus including, but everybody. It needs change bad.
Yeah. But I mean, look, I think the biggest thing when you got down to it, especially on the women's side, even though I picked her, I hated seeing her win. But I don't know who else you would have gave the shot to other than Charlotte.
Donald, you've been talking about all day. How much hate have you been seeing online about that?
I've been seeing a lot of it, through the comments and all that stuff. Like nobody really through the ESPN comments or WWE comments. There's a lot of people that didn't like Charlotte winning. It was like, here we go. Nature's daughter getting it again. Triple H's little god niece. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, her post, press conference after the show, it was tough to watch. Like, she went in and out of like being, Ashley Flair, right? Like the actual person, to Charlotte Flair, the character, and cutting promos with answers. And at one point she gave an answer and it was like a Charlotte promo answer, but then she paused and was like, all right, I'll give you a legitimate answer.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, what are we doing? Like, and for nothing with these freaking press conferences, can we get people that don't ask the same question 7 times in a row?
How about we just stop the press conference? Because it's not doing anything.
The first question was,
unless it's a New Japan
had to do with your injury comeback. How'd you feel? And then the next 4 people up after that asked the same thing and just changed the verbiage. It's like she already answered the question. What are we repeating ourselves for?
Is this her first one back?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's not used to these.
Yeah, that was new for her.
So I'm with you, Chris. Get rid of them. Unless it's going to be a New Japan type press conference. Don't need it.
I don't mind Trips talking numbers. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even for shareholders. So
even the desk part of it, like, I'm cool with that for the most part. Whenever they cut back and forth between some stuff, like, I actually do prefer that format instead of just all backstage, like for the press conference. But Jason, you need the rebuttal time. We talked about the hate on her. The one that really enjoyed the win. So,
earned, deserved. What's best for business?
No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to lump her
in
what's best for business.
And he called out everything.
We're not going to tie her into the Cena promo afterwards. We're not going to do that.
If Cena can say what's best for business, guess what's best for business? Charlotte Flair winning.
No, we're not going to tie her walking back in and getting handed a WrestleMania main event spot to Cena cutting the promo of the year in February 1st, 2025.
You know what WWE is good with doing? Picking storylines right back up, plugging you right back in where you're supposed to be.
No.
On top.
No, she's not supposed to be on top.
Always.
She's the queen.
No.
With that long ass entrance they gave her, man.
Talk about giving away the finish. You send off Pyro during her entrance. It was over there. Everybody else might as well just hopped over the top rope at that point.
Jason was calling it. He was doing the production truck. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Like, as soon as she turned, he was like, pyro. Boom, 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 boom.
What happened? Yep. She did the Jordan Grayson. I forget who it was. Picked her up for a suplex. Jason was like, reversal happened.
And man,
he had the headpiece in the ear the whole night calling shit.
But she was you could tell she's been out for over a year plus.
Yeah, there was a lot of ring rust.
Her ass off, literally.
Some of those chops just looked god awful. Like, they look like Shane McMahon punches. Like, they were just that terrible. Like,
But I don't remember if it was
You
Don or
don't
Jason.
gloss over Cena punches. That always looked terrible.
Don or Jason, I forget which one of you brought it up during it. Just like, so you had Charlotte and she was doing the flare chop and everything, and then Trish comes out and yeah, that was part of her arsenal, but then she starts doing it too. It's like,
yeah, you can't woo when another Flair's in the ring. You know, woo a chop.
But from as far as Fallout WrestleMania for the women's side, like I said, and I have to go back and watch it. And Donald, you can speak on this since you rewatched it. But other than Liv and Alexa potentially starting a feud, there wasn't much that came out of that Rumble that led me to wanting to see stuff for Mania or had seats planted for Mania on the women's side.
The only thing that I saw was whenever Naomi and Jordan were hugging, and then Bianca got in the middle of it. Like, what are you doing?
yeah, that's a good one.
And that's the only other winner, like you were saying, Dawn. That's the only winner I would have actually picked, either her or Io, because you still want that Rhea Bianca match.
Yeah. Then everything else was
which
like,
you still can get the Rhea
Yeah.
Bianca match
Yeah.
with the Chamber coming up. You know, I think, and that's the other thing. Like, maybe it did. Like, the men's side, I already have an idea on who the participants can be on the men's side for the Chamber, but the women's side, like, again,
up in the air.
it's completely up in the air. Like, I have no idea. You know, I can probably throw 3, 4, 5 names out there right now, just, you know, running through who was in that Rumble. But other than that, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of drama in the women's Rumble. It was just chaos spots and then a fast and furious finish. So
yeah, I didn't like where Nia like knocked out 6 people at one time.
Yeah.
And then I think I saw that they wanted to do that because they didn't want Charlotte throwing everybody out and getting the heat on her. Don't know if that's true or not.
it could have been. But I think we were up to like, I think it was 10 or 11 women in the ring without an elimination. And I'm like, I tweeted out, I said, I double dare them to book all 30 women in this ring before one elimination happens.
It was getting like that in the beginning, especially in the beginning. There was a lot till BFAB got thrown out.
Yeah, BFAB was the first. And I think, like I said, I think there was at least 11 or 12 of them actually in the ring before she got eliminated. So
I hope they learned their lesson a few years ago whenever, like, with the men's Rumble, whenever Brock was just eliminating everybody. You know, like, someone would come in, he'd eliminate them. Someone come in.
Yeah.
It was just a boring ass Rumble to watch. And just like, it's more excitement whenever you get a lot of people in that ring and then deal with it.
There's time and a place for it, right? Like, you have, when it's done right, it works. Like, if you go back to Diesel, whenever he was eliminating people one after the other, like it works to a point, but you got to get that in early. You can't have that be in the middle of the Rumble lead into the third act. Like, you got to, if you're going to do that, then you got to start that off early in the process and have your participants lined up in a way where it's, you know, quote unquote jobber city coming in and getting tossed out, you know. But the Brock eliminations worked until you got to Keith Lee. And then he was like, look at this big son bitch come down. Like, this is a big boy. And then Drew came in, and I think Drew eliminated Brock.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So, like, it worked because it built up to a point where it's like, all right, we got somebody out there that Brock's just not going to toss around and get out right away. But yeah, like I said, we'll get Charlotte and Tiffy. I don't think they'll run Charlotte and Rhea.
Even what Rhea said backstage, she was like, "Yeah, we ran this back already, but it looked like it's Tiffy time."
Definitely.
The thing I hated was they gave you teasers, but then they ended it. Like, they gave you teasers, and then it happened more so in the men's. But like, say Bailey and Io, they gave you a stare down, they get hit, you don't see them touch again, like storyline wise in the rest of the Rumble. And then on the men's side, every stare down before entry came in. Like you have Roman and Jacob stare down, Sheamus and Jacob stare down. All these people staring down, and then entry comes in, and it just takes away from the storyline.
Again, that's why I said it was two different Rumbles. You had one that was based solely on story, and one that wasn't, right? So
I forget who it was. There was something in the women's Rumble. It was Bianca and Naomi. Like they had an opportunity to attack somebody, and they just stood around in the ring.
Was that Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea was leaning over the rope after she
that was
eliminated. Yeah, whenever Piper was coming in.
Yeah, it's just like, why are we just standing around? Like that was probably one of like the only moments that I was just like, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, they had another moment too where they were standing around, but Naomi was about to do like a drop on a girl, and then that's when Alexa came out.
Okay.
Yeah. I am happy to see Alexa back.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You knew somebody was coming in because they just cut right to the ramp.
Yeah. It wasn't following up the ramp or nothing. It was just like camera right there.
Yeah.
Love the jacket. Fiend, friends forever. Like nice little callback there. Yeah. Gonna be interesting to see what they do with her character now.
Well, Uncle Howdy tweeted out this morning a picture of her and said, "There you are." So they're already planting seeds there. Yeah, Roxanne being number 2, you know.
Yeah.
I think all the NXT women had a good showing.
Showed up.
Right. Mm-hmm. I was not expecting Julia. I did not see her on the leak of names list that got published beforehand. I saw Stephanie. I saw Lash.
Surprised to see Jada.
I saw Jada was on the list. But yeah, having Julia come out, you know, was a nice surprise. Her and Stephanie with the face off. So there's a little bit that they can take back to NXT, but they didn't touch, you know what I mean? Like to what Jason said, it just kind of was a brief moment in passing. So, but yeah, we'll see a lot more to come on. I think the women's road to WrestleMania is has a lot more stops to get to than the men's, in my opinion. I think the men's side, there's a lot of stuff that's already booked. And we can get into that now. If you guys want, because I think we should talk about the men's Rumble before we talk about Cody and KO.
Yeah.
Want to do the men's?
Mm-hmm. So
let's talk about that.
Look, whoever I said whoever put the men's Rumble together deserves a raise. When they had the run of, who was it? Roman was standing in the ring. Then you had, I think it was Cena, then Punk, and then Rollins.
Yes.
It was like bing, bang, boom. And then all four standing there looking at each other. I'm like, so this is just, they didn't even have to do nothing for 10 minutes. They just stood there staring at each other. Like
Seth, when he came in, he just went straight for Punk. He just tackled Punk right away.
So, I mean, you know, just having those people run back to back to back, like it's arguably that was the most star-studded men's Rumble put together. You can argue that. 92 was a studded field. 91 potentially, 92 for sure. I think maybe 90. Was it 97 or 98? And there may have been one in the early 2000s. But
I mean, it surprised me that no NXT talent was in it at all.
Yeah, more surprises.
Jason said that was a detriment to the men's division down there.
Yeah, but it's also, it's like, who are you going to take out?
I Show Speed.
Come on, man.
Kudos for
we're not going to hate on Speed like that.
Oh, he took a great bump. I definitely enjoyed that, but you have all these people like in.
That's hate.
To load us out.
Yeah. That's the hell of that hate. Yeah,
it's the Rumble. You're gonna get the celebrity appearance at some point in time. They've been doing it for 20 plus years.
That's also a testament of how deep men's roster is, because we were just sitting there like, we were like at like 40 or 25, and we were just it would come out left. We were just naming all people, and those people weren't even in the Rumble.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, let's just call it what it is. Jey Uso winning is nobody had it on their bingo card in 2025.
If you bet on Jey Uso in Vegas, I would love to know what you won.
Yeah. I mean, he's the first ever number 20 entrant to win a Rumble. So nobody from the number 20 spot has actually won a Rumble prior to him. And they did a great job telling the story throughout. Like, he's the most over guy. I forget when it was. And somebody referenced this on Twitter or on X, and it was a nice callback. But it was one of the earlier pay-per-views after Triple H got into full control, full power, and somebody asked him about giving the fans what they want, right? And Hunter said, if you get over, we have no choice but to push you. And that's kind of his way of saying the brass rings out there, go ahead and grab it, right? And that's all Jay's done over the last 13, 14 months is get over himself to the point where it's in every single arena. It's everywhere they go. I mean, you had 70,000 people. That crowd shot at him after he won the Rumble on the corner, and Pat, Wade, and Cole on the table yeeting. And Pat's like, it's a volcanic yeet. But they spanned out, and you just see 70,000 people doing the yeet arm motion, just like they did the Daniel Bryan yes movement. Like, you can't not put him in that spot.
I mean, what's Jason always say? WWE does the moments. That's what it was for.
Do you disagree with him winning?
No, I just didn't see it.
Jason's face whenever he won. So, like, Jason said, I wish that we would have had it recorded. That would have been
between that and Nikki's entrance. We should have recorded that shit because both reactions.
I don't mind him winning, because he's not like young talent, but it's different. It's not the staples.
And like, how can you get mad? You want unexpected, they give you unexpected. Now you want to be mad.
Yeah.
You hate Cena. Don't want Cena winning. Cena wins, or Cena doesn't win.
Cena win lose.
When Punk got eliminated, I was happy. So I really didn't want Punk to win. I just expected him to win. So I was perfectly fine whenever he got eliminated. I would have been happy with Cena, and Jay. I'm cool with it. I'm interested in seeing where it goes now. So,
well, speaking of Punk, there was an interview he did leading up to the Rumble, and I forget where it was at or who had the interview. So I apologize for not being able to give you proper credit. But they asked him about main event WrestleMania, and to paraphrase what he said, it was basically, maybe if I main event WrestleMania, that's the end of CM Punk. It kills my drive. It kills my motivation because I don't have anything left to strive for.
Well, damn, now I wish he would have won.
So now, looking back on that answer, it's like, okay.
Instead of falling on the sword, come on.
You'll
be like Tommy Dreamer, ECW. I don't want a title. I don't need a title.
If you put that Fallout as a main event on Mania, I'm here for it.
Bro, if you're giving me Punk, Rollins, and Roman at Mania.
Oh, you give me that.
I don't know how you don't have that as a match at Mania.
That's bad blood for history.
That curb stomp that Roman took on the outside.
Yeah, the double.
The double.
2-foot one. Yeah, the 2-foot one.
That was like the coup de grace. That wasn't even like necessarily a curb stomp. That was just a coup de grace to his fucking head. Like, that was ridiculous.
Well, now we'll get Roman out for an extended period of time. Seth has completely snapped. You know who else completely snapped? Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Are those reports true?
That's what I was wondering, if those reports are true.
So everything that I saw leads to those being true.
Okay.
Who had to get your moves in?
I don't know. Brian Cage was not in this Rumble, and he's Mr. Get My Shit In. So I don't know who was in there running the mistake of getting their shit in and not following the pecking order as far as moves go. But
Somebody with Shane McMahon out there.
and when it happened, I was like, that's odd. I wasn't expecting Drew to get eliminated that soon, as far as placement in the Rumble. Like, and the way he looked, it was like he didn't look like he was supposed to be eliminated either. So I don't know what happened.
It looked like he didn't even see it. It was like the camera was still shifting, and next thing you know, you just see him with those Hogan eyes looking like, huffing and puffing, like, what's going on? And you just see Priest smiling. It was like, okay. I just want to know who was getting their moves off.
Yeah.
Am I interested in Drew and Priest at Mania? No, not necessarily.
No. Priest with that horrible splash?
But if you're not going to have Drew in the title picture, like, you got to find a dance partner for him somewhere. Yeah. So, yeah, Jay's 1000% main event over those three.
I won.
I mean, we got time. We got time to talk about it, and see how it goes. But initial feelings, do you think Jay beats Gunther?
Jay's most definitely having the Mania moment.
He better.
Although I love Gunther immediately tweeted this morning. He tweeted out, "I want it." ... Like, don't even try me. Like, don't. It's gonna end bad for you. Like, don't even try me. So Jay tried his best to keep it open last night, but we all know he's going after Gunther.
Yeah.
Like,
you cut the promo on Monday, then you're gonna change your mind.
I'll just say he better.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to go babyface, Jay versus Cody, finish the story. Now it's my story, and I'm mutually respect. We're friends. We won tag team gold together. Okay. I will say though, Cody's actions last night, Kevin Owens was right. Cody's a heel, which is why Jay versus Cody can work at Mania.
Hey, if Jay wins, he's taking our title.
So, yeah. But then that would open the door for Gunther versus Cena.
He's taking that Monday night. Shortest title reign.
Like I said, I wasn't expecting Jacob Fatu to be eliminated by Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah, that was a shock.
No
and then
Solo.
Strowman got eliminated so quick after that.
Yeah.
No Solo. Afterwards, I did find it interesting though, and this may have been Jacob's fault. I don't know if this was planned, but when you got eliminated, everybody was walking through the timekeepers area up the other entrance ramp, right? Mm-hmm. So you didn't have people come up the ramp to interfere outside of what's his face who knocked out Tozawa.
Mello.
Yeah. But when Cena came out and did his long run down to the ring, Jacob was standing at the end of the ramp, staring at him the whole time. There. So yeah, I'm like, oh, we're gonna tease Jacob and Cena with a Jacob stare down. Like
Jacob stared out everybody.
Yeah, but thank God it wasn't Logan Paul, because I really thought that they were gonna. Because there were rumors out there of Logan Paul versus Gunther at Mania. So, and they had Logan interact with him on Monday night, which would have just absolutely killed WrestleMania for me. I don't think I would have watched the main event.
Yeah, you wouldn't. That would, if it would have been Logan, you'd have started the match off with that. And you started it off with that.
I mean, he eliminated AJ, so they might put together something with him.
Oh. That's a good thought on that. That'd be a good match. Not angry at that one. I hadn't thought of that at all.
No Solo. No Randy Orton. No New Day members. Yeah, somebody said they should have just put the New Day in back to back, and then they both should have just hopped over the top rope together.
No, I'm glad they didn't do that.
I almost when Ray came out at 1, I said, because I said on the prediction show, I said I need Dom and Ray to start off 1 and 2, and Ray came out at 1, and I was like, please let Dom's music hit, please let Dom's music hit, and then Pentas came, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
Man, you see that frog splash he put on the Cena? Yeah, Dom's legit.
They brought him out late.
Was Penta did Penta have both feet down?
Penta had both feet down.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think they did replay.
Yeah.
I think they did show the replay.
Huh.
They would have been all over that if it was 1 foot. Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Yeah.
Mhm.
No. That should have been a legit out.
If EKM was still around, boy, he would have been fired on the spot.
But again, it's look, you put him in at 2, and look at the run he had.
Yeah.
And I think who eliminated him? Jacob? If I remember correctly,
I didn't see it when it
I
happened.
forgot.
They had some good
No,
choices.
Finn eliminated Penta.
I mean, if you give me Jacob, or if you give me Penta and Finn, yeah, sign me up for that too. Oh,
I know Cole was like, where's Penta at? Like, where's he at? Where's he at? I mean, he's the other person with like all baby blue ones.
Hiding in the corner for like 20 minutes.
Not
He's
all
had a great showing rolling around the next corner.
Yeah.
Goes in the next corner.
yeah. I mean,
40
I thought,
minutes and hung out in the turnbuckle for half of it.
There's only 2 men left. Penta's in the corner.
yeah, I think the person that stole the men's Royal Rumble for me, and it's a coin flip. But for me, I think Braun Breaker had probably the best showing in the Rumble. Like his just sheer power is ridiculous. Like
I mean,
and the
good
fact
for him
that
for getting out of the audience.
he is as athletic as he is, it's a scary combination. So like to circle back, I thought they did a great camera shot moment. Jacob eliminated somebody, and you just seen Braun behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And like Jacob was blurred, but Braun was like in 4K. I don't know how they shot it the way that they shot it, but it just, yeah. Yeah. That spear on Melo's taken that spear so many times in NXT. I feel like he's perfected the sell of it.
Mm-hmm.
Why was Otis dressed up like Chris Farley in a Chippendale outfit from Saturday Night Live? Like what's going on there with that presentation?
Where's the singlet with a collar? I don't know.
Yeah, no clue.
It's crazy.
But I think like I said, I think they gave us a lot in the men's. You have Drew with his story, the fallout from that. Although it's kind of like, how many times are you gonna, be a crybaby about things, Drew? Like he stormed off of sets, and he's done how many, like his whole summer was spent tearing up sets and bitching and moaning about stuff and about how he's getting screwed over by the company. So like, how long are you going to continue to run that angle with him? We got the Punk Seth Roman, Cena declaring, I changed my mind. It is best for business that I win 17 and I main event WrestleMania. So I'm not taking no questions. Here's my statement. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And then Jay, obviously, with the shock and awe moment of the night, probably arguably, I don't know, would you say that's the biggest Rumble upset since Mysterio? As far as winner?
I put it up there.
Yeah. Because everybody else who won was all slotted to do something.
I don't count Vince winning the Rumble as a surprise. I tried to erase that from my memory.
Very much.
But Taquan. Yeah. But so now we had Jay winning. We obviously talked about him being pegged with Gunther. But like I said, I feel the fallout with Cena's statement and Cody's actions after he won the match. I don't know if a true heel turn is coming for Cody because of how over he is with the fans, but everything he does screams heel. There's no babyface in him at this point. There's not. Listen to how he talks. Listen to how he treats people. Watch what he does. No babyface champion.
This is deja vu all over again.
Deja vu how?
From the AEW Cody.
Soon he'll be walking in a different
conversation.
Entrance. He's coming out the other tunnel.
Yeah.
He's coming out through the other tunnel now.
I mean, Cody even said about his AEW character that he was a heel. He was a heel that was just like Homelander pretending to be a good guy.
Okay.
But listen, what he did to Kevin Owens after that match was over last night, there's no pretending there. That's full on heel.
I mean,
you got to be a heel to get revenge.
I mean, it's within the rules.
What is he? He wasn't the one getting revenge. Kevin was the one getting revenge for Cody being the bad guy. For Cody stabbing him in the back by tagging with
revenge. You put Randy Orton out. I'm getting revenge.
Hey, I can see that.
He has every reason to get revenge too.
Hey, everything was within the rules of the ladder match. So, hey,
just because you got folded like a table.
No, I'm not saying what he did during the match was. I'm not saying what he did during the match was heel. It's a ladder match. Everything's open and fair game in the ladder match. I'm talking about after he won.
You can get
what he did.
He checked on him.
No, he didn't check on him.
Yes,
he stepped over his lifeless body, stood on top of the commentator table, stared him down, and then raised both belts. Hey. That's not a babyface champion.
He beat my ass.
That's not a good guy.
He celebrated. He said something to Sammy.
He celebrate. I wonder what he said to Sammy. I couldn't make it out with the lip sync.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's where I expected more to play in.
And I think. When all of a sudden did we get general managers, 10 doctors, and a wrestler hanging out at ringside on ladder matches?
That's very true.
When you almost break your neck, that's when you get that.
But everybody was right there, right at that exact moment. Everybody was just there.
That was crazy.
Do you buy into the reports that Cody has multiple injuries and he may or may not make it to WrestleMania?
If you believe that, then you are getting worked badly.
I didn't. Yeah, who was that? Jackie that announced that.
Yeah,
and then I didn't finish Triple H's stuff. So, but whenever Triple H was talking about injuries, he didn't bring up Cody. And usually, like if there's a legit injury, he would bring that up. But
so, I mean, do you think he would be? Do you think that he would bring up his, numero uno guy as far as potentially missing Mania after the Rumble?
I think this is an excuse for him not to work Elimination Chamber. So
there's no need for him to work Elimination Chamber.
But he's the workhorse. That's supposed to be his thing. He wants that Cena schedule. So this gives him that excuse to not have to work that pay-per-view.
He's such a heel. Such a heel. Such a heel.
Or Jack, and now he's a heel. Come on.
He's such a heel.
Break with Roman. They're gonna be on their bloodline y'all together.
He comes out with a catchy Wheatley vodka jingle, and this guy's just full blown heel. How many times were we gonna get that ad last night? Jeez, oh man!
We watched Netflix. We didn't get
that. Yeah.
I was on Peacock at the crib, so
it did. Plus, Cody had the biker coat on. He didn't have his whole.
The short coat.
Yeah, the short coat on. Yeah, they had the biker coat on.
The short coat makes you a heel?
That's a heel move.
It's a heel move. It's a heel move. Go back through time. Look at short coats.
Never saw Ric Flair have a short robe.
Robes are not a coat. That's different. It's a different piece of article clothing.
Anything else on the men's rumble?
I'm telling you, your boy better win.
He'll win. Gunther's he'll win.
He better.
Main event, WrestleMania main event. Jey Uso is in the building. No more participation, Jey. No more second place, Jey.
I'm not saying that until we win. No, he got to win.
None of that.
He got to win because if that streak continues of him losing major titles, without Daddy helping them. Participation.
Who's Daddy? Roman.
No.
What did Rikishi say this time?
Rikishi. Yeah, what did Rikishi say this time?
Rikishi was watching the Rumble with Mark Henry and Chavo Guerrero and a couple other people. He was live, insta live and out.
They wasn't ringside
to finish with Jay and
everybody else seemed to be.
And I don't know who dropped the footage because it wasn't like WWE approved footage. I don't think it was because I didn't see the WWE logo on the footage. But I don't need the kayfabe being broken with Jacob Fatu congratulating Jey Uso in the back after the Rumble. Please. Like Jimmy, I understand. That's his brother. Cool. But I don't need Jacob putting the lay around Jay's neck as he comes in, congratulating him, tell them, it's your time, Uso. But I don't need that. Don't do that.
What I say, kayfabe's dead era. That's what it is.
How many lays they had? Because everybody who came out with one, they ripped it off and popped it out.
Everybody gets one now.
Oh, what is this? Oprah giving away cars?
Yeah.
Everybody gets a leg. Everybody gets an Ufala. You get an Ufala. You get an Ufala.
Yeah. That's exactly what that happens now. Roman won it back, and everybody was just like, you know what? I want to be the tribal chief.
I mean, based off of last night, I think one thing from the fallout that you could say is true, even though he's, cut promos at the beginning of NFC title games, but I don't think The Rock is working Mania.
It doesn't seem like it.
I really don't. You got too many directions pointing towards other people and other spots slotting in right now that if he were to come in, anytime in, like it's really going to.
Didn't he do that last year?
Not needed.
Yeah, but last year they at least had a story built in that they could pivot towards, which they did. This year they don't have that to fall back on. You don't have to finish my story sitting there in the background that people can gravitate to if Rock comes in.
No, but no, I agree. He doesn't seem like he's doing anything this year.
When Cena wins the Chamber and fights Cody, hey,
one last thrice in a lifetime. That's what I get.
All right, give your early predictions. Who do you think is in the men's chamber outside of Cena? We got 5 other people, 6 pods. One's already taken up by Cena. Who are your other 5 men?
Sammy.
Punk, Roman, Seth, Drew.
Roman ain't showing up until Mania again. Roman ain't showing up till 2K come out.
Is that the fall 2K on Netflix mobile? He's taking off till the Netflix mobile launch in the fall.
Ooh, he might.
And he won't show up then. It'll just be a banner of him.
You say Punk, Sammy,
Drew.
Drew, Seth?
Seth.
I would not put Punk in the chamber.
I
wouldn't do it.
He said he was holding his eye as soon as he stepped in the ropes.
He stepped in the ropes. He was holding his eyeball.
You want him to be at Mania? Punk does not go in the chamber.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair. I didn't give the full Charlotte Flair take because we're talking Fallout tonight. Squeeze. We're not doing mushes and Mount Rushmores and the normal show shtick. We're just strictly focusing on the Fallout based off of that. But don't worry, it's coming. I got 6 more days to let it build up before I drop next Saturday with my.
Don't worry.
Well, then he got the rebuttal
on Wednesday. AEW comes on Wednesday, so we're safe.
Please let us know your reaction to being there live.
Yeah.
Hit us up in the comments on that.
Yeah,
Squeeze was the hot tag join in.
Yeah, Squeeze was at the Rumble Live last night. I'm sure he was geeking all over the place.
Are you going to Raw live on Monday night too?
Cena, Roman, Seth, Punk, Drew, Sammy. Yeah, that's a hell of a chamber lineup.
No.
You might as well say from here on out, everything's stacked.
So KO don't get back in the chamber?
KO ain't alive.
He's gonna take some serious time off.
He can return at the Chamber and help Sammy out.
I mean, at some point, I don't know what Orton's timeline is. But I mean, you think they have to run that back at some point with him and KO. They can't leave that unfinished.
Oh, I thought you were gonna give your prediction for Orton's next match.
What, Orton and KO?
No, Cody, the ongoing,
Oh yeah, that's for SummerSlam.
Again, we're gonna loop it back around to SummerSlam.
No, we're gonna get Orton and Cena at SummerSlam. We're gonna loop that back around. That's long-term storytelling right there.
We probably will see that this year. That wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't know. I thought maybe we would see Randy come back based off the ladder match stipulation and everything, and they had Sammy being played up on Kevin's side, so Randy coming in on Cody's side, but obviously that wasn't to be.
We'll get that tag match at Chamber.
Great time for sure. Super surprised. Punk didn't win. Definitely yeeting all over Indy. There's the quote. Then partied with the McAfee boys after.
Yeah. Getting it in. Always nice when you can have a 4-1-2 connection in a city where you're at. So, hey, make sure you get the Pedialyte and the IV drip and get ready to rock and roll. Monday morning is coming around soon enough, unless you put in PTO requests to take that day off.
I was gonna say we're old now. Sometimes it doesn't happen the day after. It happens the day after that.
Yeah, so that's like a 3-day bender there. So I don't know, man. I thought was it my all right here. What before we wrap it up and finish here, based off of last night, I know Chris, you touched on the 2 out of 3 falls tag as far as not being invested in that and the slotment, and then even putting it on the card itself. I thought those 4 guys got the shaft, honestly.
Yeah.
It was the shortest 2 out of 3 falls match I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
It's so much better.
14 minutes. 14 minutes.
We talked about they had the night before on SmackDown. You had the first hour commercial free. Like you could have given an incredible match on there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what else you would have put in its place. You probably could have came up with something else, or maybe 2 matches in addition to that one, to have 5 instead of 4 as far as on the card. But based off of how last night went and the rumors of Rumble turning into a 2-night event, if there's any pay-per-view that can do it, I think it's the Rumble, because then you can headline one night with the women, one night with the men.
Yeah.
Get more people on the show. You can still have your 4-match card on each night. Make it a 8 or even a 10-match card total over 2 nights, 5 on each night. Chalk it up to a 2.5 hour, 2 hour, 45-minute type pay-per-view with an hour and a half of the Rumble and the rest for the other matches. But putting both matches on, it really hinders anything else that's on the card.
Mm-hmm.
For as good as the tag team match following the Women's Rumble was just horrible. Like I said, for those 4 guys, anybody tasked to follow that after Charlotte come back and everything else, the crowd was definitely going to drop off. For as good as Kevin Owens and Cody was, as far as the ladder match goes, just like I kept watching it and I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, how much longer are we going? Can we get the Men's Rumble started? Like, and that was no slight to them because they had a hell of a ladder match and put their bodies through a ton of shit to get to that point. But at the same time, I just kept waiting, like, all right, come on, wrap it up. Like
the anticipation,
anticipation
was high. It was like, come
on, like opening act, like get off stage.
Yeah.
If you just watched the Rumble itself, like I don't feel like there was much lag other than the little bit of dead time in that tag match. Other than that, perfectly fine with everything. But if you happen to start, it started for us at 4:00 for the pre-show, all the way till like 11:30. It went off, with the press conference. That's an AEW event right there. Like because we had the press conference on afterwards, and it's like that. Just I was feeling it during that. Like okay, like time to wrap this up now.
Yeah. That's like after Cena talked. I mean, that's what I got up. Was like, I'm done. I'm not listening to Hunter. I'm like, I don't care about the numbers.
But do you think it's best if they go 2 nights for the Rumble just because of it being the Rumble match and you can run one on each night?
No.
If anything, that would have been the only one I'd done. I wouldn't have done Mania 2 nights. Or SummerSlam.
I mean, it does make more sense do if that's the direction they're going to do it that way, but no, it still doesn't need to be a 2-night event.
I like it one night. Just because it is the Royal Rumble and you get both men and women's in one night. Where you don't have to pay up another, ticket price to see the other half.
Any moaning or groaning about not enough surprises? Not, as far as entrances, did they pretty much book the field right, so to speak?
What's that Shaw Jade? Because she's been on for a while.
Other than Nikki Bella, I was satisfied.
I would have took Nikki over Natty. You know how I feel about Natty.
She was there just to. They did this
continuous streak.
The streak, yeah.
Resume check-in.
And kudos to the women. I didn't realize that we were on year 8 of women's rumbles. Like they put up that graphic. Oh, speaking of which, we didn't even talk about that. Whoever came up with the production idea to add in the Rumble ticker during the Rumble matches, kudos to you.
No.
No.
All right.
I liked it.
I liked the moment,
but not the whole match.
Yeah, not the whole match.
No, it kept you up to date with what's going on.
No.
You could have put all that in the 10 seconds.
I thought it was perfect. I enjoyed it. It let me know who was upcoming, who was eliminated, how many eliminated, what the order was, what number the participants are remaining in the ring. Like that was the most informed Rumble I've ever been in. Because how many times have you watched the Rumble? I know me speaking personally, I'm sitting there like, what number are we on? We on 19? Who came out? I don't even remember who came out. Well, it was right there on the bottom of my screen for me to keep up with the whole time.
It had its pros and its cons. Like you could have popped it up every now and then, but having it the whole show.
To me, you could have popped it up before, like right when the person got in after their entrance. You could have put everything in there.
From 10 on to, yeah.
And then you could have cut it off because it felt like ESPN News.
Yeah.
They ever took? Never mind.
I didn't even know who was left when you could see who's left.
That's true.
Yeah, I saw the ticker they actually had going on in the crowd too. So that.
You a fan of the ticker? You was there, would you?
Yeah,
yeah. They had it. They had the ticker on the Tron in the arena for the people. Like,
which that makes sense for the people that are there, definitely.
So why does it make sense for people watching it at home?
I just didn't need it on my screen the whole time.
You have a ticker on your screen for every other sporting event. It's there the entire time for any NBA game.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna get it
MLB
even more
game,
now. They tested it out last night.
Like,
it ain't that noticeable. It ain't that big.
Oh, so you want a smaller size?
That's what she said.
You want a smaller size? No, nobody's ever said that in history. I want it smaller. That's what Jay-Z said. I want it smaller.
I'm just saying, be different. Everything don't gotta be the goddamn same thing.
They did do it differently. You guys just obviously didn't like it.
If they doing a ticker, like you just said, NFL does a ticker, NBA does a ticker, UFC does a ticker, ESPN does a ticker, the news does a ticker. What's different?
I won't say nothing else on it then.
Anything else from last night before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so. Well, we'll save Mushes and Mount Rushmores for Saturday.
AEW, come with it, please.
Come with it.
Come with your worst. Death
Oh,
Valley.
no, don't worry.
AEW.
AEW is already off to a strong mush of the week already with Collision last night. Already.
You don't ever have to entice them to give you their worst.
It's bad booking 101 with what they did last night. It's god awful shame what they did last night to a debuting star.
They probably ran their own Royal Rumble. You want to watch a Royal Rumble?
See, now you're going to make me spill the beans because my hate for Charlotte might just put her on my mush of the week just because. Simply because her rich and title. But yeah, no. All right, fuck it.
Tune in this upcoming Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Rumble for find out what the mushes and the hits for the week were. Make sure you guys follow us on all social media at DumbMarksPod. Support the show. Purchase the merch, ProWrestlingTees.com/DumbMarksPod. Email the show. Let us know your comments, dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. And until next week, catch you guys later.